What happened when I invited the wrong people? Before we begin the story, make sure to subscribe to our channel and never miss more incredible stories every day. Darius smiled like a guest, then said my full legal name. Hey, Tessa Marie Hallbrook. He purred, like we were old friends. The living room went quiet in that way that makes your ears ring. My housewarming crowd froze mid-laugh, mid-sip, mid-bite. Naomi's hand tightened around her cup, so hard it creased. I didn't correct him. I couldn't. Because nobody at that party should have known my middle name. Unless they'd seen the mortgage paperwork I kept in a folder labeled closing. Do not lose. 3 hours earlier, I was just a school counselor with sore feet in a tiny place I'd fought like hell to buy. 37 months of overtime, side gigs, and no to vacations. This night was supposed to be my one soft landing. Fairy lights, cheap wine, and people I trusted congratulating me for surviving. Instead, I was watching a stranger in a clean blazer scan my hallway like he'd memorized the layout. Naomi leaned in, voice low. Who is that? My boyfriend's friend, I said, even as my stomach dropped. Marcus had promised he'd keep it small. My circle, his circle, nothing complicated. But Darius stood there like he belonged, and Marcus was across the room, laughing too loudly, not looking at me. If Darius had just been rude, I could have kicked him out. If he'd just been loud, I could have blamed the alcohol. But he'd said my name like a key turning. I tried to laugh it off. Sorry, do I know you? Darius tilted his head. Not yet, but you've got a nice place. Cozy. You did this all on your own? My throat tightened. He hadn't asked where the bathroom was. He hadn't asked how long I'd lived here. He was counting exits with his eyes while pretending to compliment my couch. And when I finally forced my voice out, it came out as a whisper. How do you know that? Darius's gaze flicked to my home office door, then back to me, amused. People talk. That was when my phone buzzed. Except my phone wasn't in my hand, or my pocket, or anywhere I could feel. I stared at the blank space on the coffee table where I'd last seen it. Did you move it? I asked Naomi. Naomi's face sharpened. No. Why? Across the room, Darius adjusted his watch like he was checking the time, and Marcus finally looked over, pale. Because whatever Darius wanted, he didn't come for cake. I'll buy the little townhouse on the south side on April 18th, 2025. I remember because the lender calls at 8:12 a.m. and says, congratulations, and I start crying in the school parking lot with my forehead on the steering wheel like a total cliche. For years I tell myself home is a luxury for people with family money. My mom is a cashier. My dad is a good guy who disappears when bills show up. I am the person kids come to when their lives fall apart. Panic attacks, bruises under sleeves, parents screaming through locked doors. I spend my days telling 13-year-olds they deserve safety. Then I go home to a studio with a neighbor who blasts bass at 2 a.m. So when I finally get keys to a place that's mine, painted over scuffs, squeaky stairs, one sad maple tree out front, it feels like proof I wasn't wasting my life. Marcus is there that morning, hugging me from behind while I unlock the door. Tess, you did it, he says into my hair. You're officially a grown-up. Naomi shows up with a mop and a look that says, don't romanticize this man. She's my best friend since grad school, and she can smell trouble like smoke. I'm proud of you, she says, then points at Marcus. And I'm watching you. The party is Marcus's idea. Housewarming is a ritual, he says. You deserve to be celebrated. He promises it will be small and safe. My co-workers, Naomi, a few of his friends. No strangers. I believe him because I want to. Because I'm tired of being the cautious one. Because for once I want to take a picture in my own living room without worrying what's in the background. Marcus handles the invites because he's better at people. He takes my phone, copies numbers, and scrolls my contacts like it's nothing. Relax, he says when I hover. I'm not inviting your dentist. Naomi texts me later. Who all is coming? I reply. Only people we know. I never actually see the final list. On Saturday, I tape fairy lights along the window. I set out grocery store cupcakes and a little donation jar for the school's emergency fund. Something simple, something good. Marcus kisses my cheek and says, trust me, babe. At 6:47 p.m., my doorbell camera catches Marcus opening the door for someone I've never seen. I don't learn about the mistake until the next morning, when my stomach is already sore from smiling too much. At 9:03 a.m., Naomi sends me a screenshot. It's a black background message from an Instagram group Chat I've never been in. Title, West Side Boys. Under it, Marcus's name and profile picture. Marcus, housewarming at Tessa's tonight. BYOB. Here's the address plus door code for the gate. Then a blue link. Evite. Com/. Then, like a cherry on top, +1s welcome. Naomi's message below the screenshot is simple. Tell me this is fake. My hands shake as I open Marcus's Instagram. He's in more group chats than I knew existed. Gym guys, poker guys, real estate hustle, something called legends. I click the West Side Boys thread and feel my face go hot when I see it. The exact message, timestamped 6:12 p.m. Saturday. The same time I'm frosting cupcakes. Marcus, I say, walking into the kitchen where he's making coffee like the world is still normal. Why did you give out my address and gate code to strangers? He doesn't even look up. They're not strangers. West Side Boys is not people we know. He finally looks at me, annoyed. Babe, it's fine. It's just the guys. They bring friends. It's how parties work. I swallow. You said small. You said safe. He rolls his eyes and takes my phone off the counter, scrolling like he's already done with the conversation. You're spiraling. Nobody did anything. My phone is in his hand when he says that, and I hate that it matters, but it does. Because my phone is also where my banking apps live, and my email, and the two-factor codes that keep my identity from becoming someone else's paycheck. Naomi calls. I answer on speaker. Did anyone weird show up? She asks. I see Darius's smile in my mind. I see the way his eyes flick toward my office door. I see Marcus laughing too loud, not looking at me. Yeah, I say. One guy. Naomi pauses. Describe him. Before I can answer, Marcus snatches the phone and says, Naomi, you're feeding her paranoia? And on the counter, my home office key isn't where I left it. Saturday night. I put on mascara and the smile I use on parents who swear their kid would never. The first guests are totally normal. 2 coworkers bring chips. Naomi arrives with a bottle of cheap Prosecco and does a full perimeter scan like she's Secret Service. One of Marcus's actual buddies, someone I've met, brings a folding table. Then, at 7:18 p.m., the gate clicks and 3 people walk up like they've been here before. One is Darius. Tall, neat, confident in a way that reads expensive without being flashy. He shakes Marcus's hand like they're business partners, then turns to me with a smile that feels practiced. Beautiful place, he says. Southside's coming up. Naomi drifts closer. Those are not buddy vibes, she mutters. Inside, Darius doesn't ask where the bathroom is. He asks, what's the Wi-Fi password? And repeats it like he's filing it away. He offers to take out trash. He refills cups. He compliments my taste. But he's also always a step ahead of where he should be, halfway down my hallway, leaning into my office doorway, glancing at the little safe I keep for passports. I catch him by the mail slot, looking at the stack of envelopes I haven't sorted. Mortgage ads, school letters, a bank statement. Need something? I ask, forcing lightness. He chuckles, just making sure no one drops anything important. People lose stuff at parties. My pulse jumps. I tell myself I'm being dramatic, that he's just socially smooth, that Marcus wouldn't bring someone dangerous into my home. Then Naomi corners me near the kitchen. Your donation jar, she whispers. How much did you put in there? 220s, I say. Naomi's eyes flick to the counter. Then why is it suddenly lighter? I look. The jar is still there. The lid is still on. The label, emergency fund, still smiles up at me. But inside, the 20s are gone, replaced by crumpled singles and pennies. Across the room, Darius raises his glass to me, like we're sharing a joke. I don't confront Darius right away. I do what women are trained to do when something's off. I keep the peace and blame myself. Maybe someone swapped bills as a joke. Maybe I miscounted. Maybe my jar was never that full. But the office key is real. I slip down the hall and check the hook by the office door where I always hang it. Empty. I pat my pockets like it might magically appear. Nothing. My chest tightens like I'm about to be scolded for being too much. Inside the office, the lamp is on. I know I turned it off after I finished printing the guest list. The folder on my desk isn't where I left it either. The closing folder is slightly open, like someone thumbed through it quickly and tried to put it back without understanding how I organize. I stand there, listening to laughter from my living room, and feel sick. Naomi appears in the doorway behind me. Tell me you saw that too. I didn't leave this like this, I whisper. She steps in, eyes scanning. Did anyone go back here? Not that I stop. I remember Darius leaning in the doorway, that casual shoulder against my frame like he owned the angle. Naomi checks the safe. Locked. She exhales, but it's not relief. It's calculation. Where's your phone? I had it on the coffee table. I walk back out. The coffee table is now stacked with napkins and someone's cupcake. No phone. I push through bodies, smiling, pretending I'm not in panic. Hey, has anyone seen my phone? A few people shrug. One of Marcus's buddies says, maybe it slid under the couch. Marcus rolls his eyes like I'm being dramatic. Tess, it's a party. Stuff moves. It has my wallet on it. I snap, then immediately regret the tone. I lower my voice. Can you help me look? He leans close, jaw tight. Not in front of everyone. You're making it weird. Naomi bristles. It is weird. Darius materializes beside us like he's been waiting. Lost something? He asks, all concern. I'm good at finding things. No, I say too fast. He smiles anyway. Let me. I hate seeing a host stressed. Marcus's hand touches my back, not comforting, guiding, steering me toward the kitchen like a misbehaving kid. Just breathe, he murmurs. You're spiraling. That's when Naomi's phone buzzes, and her face drains as she reads the screen. Naomi turns her screen toward me. Bank alert. Card not present purchase $489. 13. Quick Fix Mobile. Timestamp. 9:41 p.m. I stare at it like it's a foreign language. That's my debit card. Naomi's voice drops. Your card is linked to your Apple Pay, right? My mouth goes dry. My phone is gone. My phone has my card on it. Marcus snatches Naomi's phone before I can. This could be fraud. Banks do false flags. Naomi reaches for it. Give it back. He holds it higher like a joke. You're making her freak out. I'm already freaked out. I feel it like electricity under my skin. Marcus. I say, too steady. Who is Darius? Marcus's eyes flick to the living room, where Darius is laughing with someone like he's hosting. He's a guy from the gym. A guy from the gym who knows my full name. Marcus exhales hard. Tess, stop. You're embarrassing me. That word, me, lands wrong. The night is supposed to be about my home, my win, my safety. And somehow I'm managing his feelings while my identity bleeds out in real time. Naomi drags me into my office and opens my laptop. My hands shake so much I can barely type my password. We pull up my bank app. There it is, the same charge, pending. And under it, another attempt that failed because my balance is low. $1,200 transfer, declined. Naomi whispers, they tried to drain you. I open my email. My inbox refreshes. Security alert. New sign-in from an Android device. Location, Riverton, 12 miles away. Time, 9:39 p.m. My stomach flips. Whoever has my phone is already trying my life on like a jacket. Naomi find my iPhone. A blue dot blinks on the map, moving. It's leaving my neighborhood. I stand there listening to my own party behind the door, the music and laughter muffled, like it belongs to someone else. My chest wants to burst. My first instinct is to scream, to run out, to accuse. But Marcus is right outside the office. I can hear him, calm, saying, everything's fine. So I do something quieter, colder. I screenshot everything. I start a notes app with times, amounts, names. I change passwords. I lock cards. I breathe through rage. Then an unknown number texts. Got something of yours. Check your email now. I don't sleep. I sit on my kitchen floor with Naomi and a legal pad like I'm prepping for a trial. 9:39 p.m. New email sign-in from Riverton. 9:41 p.m. Quick Fix Mobile charge. 9:46 p.m. My phone leaves my neighborhood. 10:02 p.m. Location pings near the Riverton Strip Mall, then goes dark. Naomi says, we start with Quick Fix. At 10:11 a.m. Sunday, we drive there with coffee breath and fury. Quick Fix Mobile is wedged between a payday lender and a vape shop, fluorescent lighting buzzing like a headache. The guy behind the counter looks 19 and exhausted. I show him the bank alert and ask, can you pull the transaction? It's fraud. He types, squints, then nods. Yeah, someone used your card to buy a prepaid plan and a SIM. Said it was for his work phone. Did he bring a phone? Naomi asks. The kid hesitates, then points toward the back where a cheap camera sits above the register. If you're filing a report, You can request footage. But I remember him. My heart thumps. What did he look like? Tall. Clean. Like he wasn't supposed to be here, the kid says. Nice watch. Smiled a lot. Naomi and I share a look that feels like falling. We go straight to the police station. The lobby smells like old coffee and printer paper. Detective Ruiz meets us at the front desk, polite but tired, like he's heard my panic before. Phones get stolen at parties, he says. Most of the time it's someone you know. I know, I say, voice tight. That's what scares me. He takes my notes anyway. He gives me a case number and a warning. Identity theft is slow and recovery is slower. Freeze your credit, he says. Change everything. Don't confront suspects alone. Back at my house, Marcus is pacing like the victim. This is insane, he says. I can't believe this happened. I told you those guys were fine. Which guys? Naomi asks. Name them. Marcus's mouth opens, then closes. I don't. I mean, Darius, sure, but... I watch him swallow, and something in me clicks. He's not forgetting. He's choosing words. While Marcus talks, his phone lights up on the couch with a notification. I see it for half a second. Venmo. You paid Darius K. $300. My bad. Marcus snatches the phone so fast it's basically a confession. Within 48 hours, my life becomes a set of alerts. Sunday at 2:17 p.m. I get an email from Experian. New inquiry detected. Silverline Auto Finance. At 2:19 p.m. New inquiry detected. Horizon Credit. At 2:26 p.m. my school district payroll portal sends a reset link I didn't request. Naomi sits at my dining table, laptop open, chewing her thumbnail like it owes her money. They're trying to build a whole new you, she says. Loans, credit lines, maybe a car. And if they get into payroll, they can reroute your checks. My chest squeezes so hard I have to stand up. I picture my students' faces, the trust they put in me, the way a rumor can smear a person in a community like mine. If someone uses my identity for fraud, it's not just money. It's my job, my license, my entire stable adult reputation. Detective Ruiz calls back with one tiny update. The quick fix camera request is in process. It's going to take a day or two, he says. Don't do anything reckless. Reckless feels impossible. I'm too busy doing paperwork for my own existence. Credit freeze. Fraud alert. New pins. Calling my bank until my throat hurts. Changing the gate code and every password that ever mattered. And still, the attempts keep coming, like someone is rattling my doorknobs from the inside. Naomi asks the question I'm avoiding. Did they take anything else from your office? I go back in and check my desk again, slower this time. That's when I notice the trash can under my printer. Paper scraps that weren't there yesterday. Tiny shredded bits of something with numbers on them. I pull the closing folder out and my hands start to shake. The page that has my social security number, the one I swore I'd never leave out, is wrinkled at the corner, like someone folded it into a pocket and unfolded it fast. So that's the what. It isn't petty theft. It's identity. But it doesn't explain the why. Why me? Why now? Why my party? Marcus sits on the couch staring at the wall like he's practicing innocence. When I ask him again who Darius is, he says, just a guy, and won't meet my eyes. Then an email arrives. The subject line is my social security number. I open the email with one finger, like it might bite. Inside is a photo of my driver's license, perfectly framed, taken on my own desk. Under it, a picture of the first page of my mortgage packet, my address, my signature, my SSN half visible like a smile. Then the message. You want your phone back, you pay. No cops. Don't make this messy. No dollar amount. Just a Venmo handle at DKingPay. Naomi reads over my shoulder and lets out a short, ugly laugh. He's not even pretending he's classy. My hands go cold. If I pay, he still has my info. If you don't pay, he sells it, Naomi says. Either way, you need evidence. Detective Ruiz calls around noon Monday. We got quick fix to cooperate, he says, and emails me 3 still frames. Grainy, fluorescent lit, but clear enough to make my stomach drop. Darius at the counter. Darius holding a phone in one hand and my debit card in the other. Darius smiling at the kid like they're friends. Ruiz adds, we can't move fast without a clean chain. Don't tip him off. Naomi and I build a folder called Darius like we're the weirdest accountants alive. Doorbell camera clip of him entering. Screenshot of the Venmo notification on Marcus's phone. Thank God iPhones keep previews if you swipe down fast enough. Bank alerts. Email security log showing Riverton. A photo of my wrinkled SSN page. Then comes the question I keep dodging. Marcus. He paid Darius. Naomi says, blunt as a shovel. That's not a coincidence. Marcus insists it is. He spotted me cash at the gym once, he says. I paid him back. That's all. Then why did you invite him? I ask. Marcus's nostrils flare. Because you never let me have anyone. Because you treat your house like a trauma ward. The cruelty in that lands harder than the theft. I swallow it anyway, because I need his phone later, and I hate myself for thinking that. Naomi outlines the plan like she's drawing battle lines. We don't meet him alone. We set a location with cameras. We make him say what he did. I type a message to the Venmo handle with my thumbs shaking. I want my phone back. Name a place. The reply comes in under a minute. Tonight, 8 p.m., Riverton Diner. Come alone, Tessa. I tell Darius I'll come alone, then do the exact opposite. Naomi parks across the street from Riverton Diner with her dash cam running. Detective Ruiz can't officially set up without paperwork, but he tells me, carefully, if you feel threatened, call 911. Which is cop speak for, we're not there, but we're listening. Marcus tries to stop me at the door. Don't go, he says, grabbing my wrist. His grip is too tight, his eyes too bright. Just let the bank handle it. You're making it bigger. Bigger than someone stealing my identity. I ask. He flinches like I hit him. You don't understand. That's the moment Naomi's earlier words return. Either way, you need evidence. At 7:58 p.m., I slide into a booth. The diner smells like grease and old syrup. Darius is already there, coffee untouched, posture relaxed like he's on a date. You actually came, he says, smiling. I want my phone, I say, keeping my voice even. He pulls it from his pocket and sets it on the table, face down, like a reward. My chest aches with the instinct to grab it. Before you touch that, he says, we're going to be clear. He taps his own phone and turns the screen toward me. It's a photo of my office desk, my closing folder open, my license visible. A second photo, my school badge, cropped close enough to read the district name. I could make your week very annoying, Darius says softly. HR hates fraud allegations. Parents love Facebook. You get it. I froze my credit. I lie. He chuckles. Smart. But not enough. My throat tightens. What do you want? Darius leans in just enough that his cologne hits me. $5,000. Cash. And you stop asking questions about how I got invited. My heart bangs. You broke into my office. Darius's smile widens. You hosted the party. When I don't answer, he drops the charm. Also, he adds, like an afterthought, tell Marcus to stop dodging me. The name hits like a slap. What does Marcus have to do with this? I whisper. Darius's eyes sparkle with amusement. Oh, Tess, you really think you're the main character? His hand slides my phone a few inches closer, and I see the screen is cracked. I drive home with my cracked phone in my purse and a new kind of clarity. Darius isn't improvising. He's running a play. Naomi meets me at my door, eyes wide. Well, he wants $5,000, I say, and he said Marcus's name like it was leverage. Naomi doesn't blink. So Marcus is the why. I wish she wasn't right. I wish the story was simple. Bad guy shows up, steals phone, cops fix it. But nothing in my life has ever been simple, and Marcus's panic suddenly has a shape. Detective Ruiz listens while I lay out Darius's terms, the threats, the photos. He stays quiet until I finish, then says, if he's extorting you, we need him to repeat it in a way we can document. Naomi's eyebrows lift. A controlled meet. Ruiz nods. A location with cameras. Witnesses. No surprises. I think about the diner booth, Darius's grin, the way he said I hosted the party like it was consent. Then I think about my house, my soft landing, and how it doesn't feel like mine anymore. I can get him to show, I say, and my own voice scares me with how steady it is. The polished venue part of my brain remembers one place, the community hall behind St. Luke's, where the district hosts wellness nights. There's a front desk, security cameras, and a back room with a TV screen for presentations. Naomi squeezes my shoulder. Perfect. Naomi orders a tiny voice recorder for pickup and tests it on my kitchen table. Say $5,000 out loud, she tells me, and I do, tasting the words like poison. I text Darius from my laptop. I'm not bringing cash to a diner. Too risky. Meet me tomorrow. 7 p.m. St. Luke's Hall. You give me my docs back, I'll pay you there. Seconds tick by like teeth grinding. Marcus hovers behind me, silent, watching the screen. When the reply finally comes, I feel him inhale sharply. Fine. Bring the money. And bring Marcus too. My fingers go numb. Naomi whispers, he knows. Ruiz's voice turns flat. Or he wants Marcus there for a reason. Marcus's face is gray. Tessa, he says, voice cracking, please don't do this. And that's when I realize he isn't scared for me. He's scared of what I'll learn. St. Luke's Hall smells like lemon cleaner and old coffee. The front desk camera blinks red. In the back room, a TV sits on a rolling cart, the kind used for school presentations. Naomi sets her phone on the table with the recorder running. Detective Ruiz isn't inside yet. He's nearby, listening through the hallway door. Marcus won't stop rubbing his palms on his jeans. We can still fix this, he whispers. Stop, I whisper back. No more fixing. At 6:59 p.m., Darius strolls in like he owns the room. He nods at me, then looks at Marcus with a smile that isn't friendly. Look who showed, Darius says. I keep my voice even. I brought what you asked for. Good, he says. Then we keep this simple. You pay, you get your stuff, everyone goes home. Naomi tilts her head. How much is it again? Darius's eyes harden. 5,000. Cash. For the phone and the paperwork. Naomi's thumb taps, recording. I plug my laptop into the TV. Darius frowns. What's that? Receipts, I say, and hit play. First, my doorbell clip, 7:18 p.m. Darius entering my gate. Second, quick fix still frames, Darius at the counter with my phone and my card. Third, the extortion email with my SSN in the subject line. Last, the Venmo preview I caught. Marcus paid Darius K. $300, my bad. Marcus makes a strangled sound. Darius's smile vanishes. Turn that off. No, I say. Tell me why you were in my office. Darius looks straight at Marcus. Tell her. Marcus's eyes shine. Tess. I owed him, he whispers. Sports betting. I kept thinking I'd win it back. My throat closes. So you invited him. Marcus nods, face crumpling. He said he'd scare me. That's all. Then he told me it'd be easier if he had your paperwork. He said it was temporary. He said you'd never know. The words land like punches. You traded my safety for your debt. Darius snorts. He opened the door. I walk through. The hallway door swings wider, and Detective Ruiz steps in. Evening, Darius. Darius's head snaps up, and for the first time, he looks scared. Ruiz doesn't tackle Darius or slam him into a wall. Real life isn't TV. He asks Darius to stand. Darius laughs once, sharp and fake, then tries to talk his way out like charm is a legal defense. Ruiz stays calm, asks the same questions, keeps Darius speaking. Naomi's phone keeps recording. When Darius finally snaps, fine, 5,000, or your school gets a nice little fraud story, Ruiz nods like he's been waiting for that exact sentence. Two uniformed officers step in from the hallway. Darius's face changes, anger, then calculation. He stands slowly, hands up, still smiling like this is a misunderstanding. Marcus looks like he's going to throw up. I didn't know it would go this far, he keeps whispering, to no one. I didn't know. I don't comfort him. I don't even look at him. I feel hollow, like someone scooped me out and left the shell upright. The next week is paperwork and waiting. Ruiz tells me they're pushing charges for extortion and identity theft, but cases take time. My bank refunds the quick fix charge, then sends me a letter saying my dispute is under review. I spend lunch breaks on hold with credit bureaus while teenagers pound on my office door needing help. At school, my principal pulls me aside. Payroll flagged unusual activity on your account, she says gently. Are you okay? I want to say yes. I say, I'm handling it, and hate how small my voice sounds. Marcus moves his things out while I'm at work. He leaves a note that says, I'm sorry. I love you. I panicked. Like love is a substitute for consent. Naomi changes my locks with me on Saturday. Ruiz tells me a judge signs a warrant, but Darius could still post bond. I start carrying my keys between my fingers when I walk to my car, hating that I even know that trick. We install a new camera. We reset every code. I buy a shredder and feed it my old life in strips. Some nights I still hear Darius's voice in my head. You hosted the party. Then, On Friday at 11:06 p.m., my new phone, buzzes with a credit alert. The alert reads, "New account opened. Horizon Credit, $7, 500 in my name." The Horizon Credit account is the cruelest kind of proof. Even when you do everything right, your name can still be used like a tool. I spend the next month doing recovery work nobody warns you about. I file an identity theft report and print it in triplicate. I mail certified letters with copies of my ID, my police case number, my dispute forms. I learned the difference between fraud alert and credit freeze the hard way. I keep a binder labeled me like I'm a case file. At school, I stop hiding. I tell my principal and HR exactly what happened, in plain language, before anyone else can spin it. My principal doesn't flinch. She says, "I'm sorry," and means it. She puts a note in my file about the attempted payroll reset, so it can't be used against me later. Naomi and I turn my house back into mine, inch by inch. New locks, a doorbell camera with cloud storage, a metal file box for documents. Anything with a number gets shredded. Anything with a signature gets locked. I block Marcus on everything. When he emails from a new address, I forward it to Ruiz. When he shows up at my door once, eyes red, hands empty, I don't let him in. I speak through the camera and say, "You don't get access to me anymore." That sentence hurts and heals at the same time. I get on a therapy wait list. When my first appointment finally comes, I sit in a beige office and say, out loud, "I feel stupid." The therapist doesn't correct me with cliches. She asks, "Who benefited from you believing that?" And I cry so hard I can't breathe. Slowly, the panic loosens. My body learns that night is not always danger. I start sleeping again. I stop flinching when a door clicks. I also get practical. I never host a public event link again. No open plus ones. No shared gate codes. If you want my address, you ask me. One afternoon, Ruiz calls with a voice I don't recognize, almost upbeat. "We're getting offers," he says. "Darius's lawyer wants to talk plea." Then he adds, "Tessa, your statement is going to decide how this ends." When Ruiz asks for my statement, I think I'll freeze. I don't. I write it the way I write safety plans for kids. Clear, factual, undeniable. I list dates. I list amounts. I describe the photos of my documents, the attempted payroll reset, the credit account opened in my name. I describe the moment a stranger said my full legal name in my living room like he owned it. In court, Darius wears a suit and tries to look bored. His lawyer talks about mistakes and bad influences. Ruiz leans toward me and whispers, "Just read what you wrote." So I do. I don't scream. I don't curse. I say, "I hosted a party to celebrate surviving, and I watched Darius's jaw tighten." I say, "Consent isn't implied because someone's door is open and the judge looks up." I say, "My work is helping kids feel safe. Your client made my home unsafe." And my voice finally shakes, but it holds. Darius takes a deal. Restitution, probation conditions, no contact orders, and a record that follows him longer than my fear ever should have. It doesn't erase what happened, but it draws a line in ink. What he did was real and wrong. Marcus isn't in the room when I read my statement. Ruiz tells me he cooperated after the arrest, trying to make it right. Maybe he thought that would earn him back into my life. It doesn't. The real revenge isn't watching them fall. It's watching myself stand. A month later, Naomi comes over on a Wednesday with takeout and no plus ones. We eat on my couch under the same fairy lights, now rewired and brighter. My new file box sits locked in the corner like a quiet promise. When my phone buzzes, it's a friend asking for my address for a brunch invite, and my chest doesn't tighten. I still double-check the locks before bed, but now it feels like care, not panic. Here's what I tell anyone who asks. Keep your event links private. Never share door codes in group chats. Freeze your credit before you think you need to. And trust the friend who notices details.